That's pretty cool. Okay, it looks like we are live here. Welcome everyone. It is July 16th already, 2014. This is the Empower Network Team Certainty Wednesday night new member training session or introductory session to learn more about Empower Network and Team Certainty. Certainly, I'd like to welcome everyone for tuning in and watching us this evening, or wherever it is in your neck of the woods, what time it is. We do these Google Hangouts twice a week. We do them Wednesday nights, this time period, from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time. And we also do Google Hangouts for prospective new members Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. to 11:30 Central Time, and that's a questions and answer period. That's where the button is on the side of your page here you're watching. Just click that tab, type in a question, and support will get it answered, and then it'll get to us if they deem it appropriate, and we'll answer it in front of everyone live Saturday mornings. Tonight I have with me Mr. Iron Dane Richards and Mr. Gary Smith. How you doing, fellas?
Good.
Doing great.
Good. All right,
I
good,
have
good, good.
news. I have big news.
All right. Well, we'll get it started here in just a minute. I'd like to welcome, again, all the, the viewers watching tonight. We'll go ahead and start with our earnings disclaimer. We will be talking about money tonight, and tonight's a topic for prospective new members that we're going to be discussing. We actually touched base on it Saturday a little bit, and it was such a, kind of good topic. We decided to make it this topic for tonight, and that is how us team leaders make money with all the different ways to make money online. What is our favorite way to make money online, and how we go about doing it? And you'll hear about that from each one of us tonight, as well as a few other special announcements, as Mr. Smith alluded to. And we at Team Certainty, utilize the Empower Network products as an income stream for all of us and make very good money doing so. But we also incorporate the Empower Network products in our other businesses as well. We only promote Empower Network here, and only will. But we do as Empower Network pushes as well. For all of our members to make money any way they can. And as you become a member, if you become a member, and certainly the members that are part of Team Certainty now know that in our Team Certainty back office, there's numerous different ways to make money, and make money within minutes of joining and getting access to our back office, where we have income boards, is what we call them, at each level, which corresponds to the 5 core products of Empower Network. As you move up the scale and obtain those products and new skill levels, your income boards have different types of income-producing avenues and opportunities there, and so that's how we make our money online. We all do it for a living, and we're going to hear about each one of us doing it tonight, and how we also incorporate the Empower Network products into doing so. I've got some good stories I've got together, and both Mr. Iron Dane Richards and Mr. Smith have that as well. So we'll let people gather it together, get a cup of coffee, and we'll chat about a few current events now. The only thing I can talk really about, it's on the news, well, other than Israel and the fighting, which is always in the news, I guess, over there, is Germany took it to everybody in the World Cup, didn't they?
Yeah. They sure did. They sure did.
Germany, Germany won it. In the quarterfinals, I guess when they played Brazil, it was all Germany from that on. Actually when they got to there, so it was kind of interesting, to see them do well. Watching the game, which I'm not a big soccer fan, but I did watch, quite a bit of it there at the end, and it was noticeable that Germany was almost head and shoulders above everybody else, talent-wise, and just how they were playing, in a zone. So I guess we'll wait another 4 years. Where's the next World Cup going to be? Do they announce that yet? Have they announced that at all?
No, I don't know. I didn't catch it if they did.
Yeah, they didn't promote it, so I guess they wouldn't. I figured they might, but announce it at least, but. I can't imagine them not, figuring out where it is. But anyway, Gary, you got anything special going on in your neck of the woods? Current words you want to chat about?
They have to do that years ahead. There's that one that's the stadiums are being built now in the Middle East somewhere, and I mean it's just a brutal. I mean they're dropping dudes horrible because the heat is so bad there and water's so scarce and everything. yeah, trying to build those stadiums and stuff. And I think that one's like 2025 or something. You know,
Wow.
I don't. They got to prepare way ahead of time. I think it's Brazil, but I'm not sure. I heard.
Well, I was in Brazil. You know, you're probably talking about the Olympics, but
Yeah.
the soccer World Cup, which will be, I guess, in what, it's 2018. I don't know where it's at. You know, maybe if you catch a minute here, we'll Google it and figure it out. But any current events, special things you want to chat about, Mr. Smith or Mr. Richards?
Yep. Saturday, I talked about our little leagues going to state championship. You know, that Saturday, our 10-year-olds got their butts kicked, and our 12-year-olds kicked butt.
Oh, good.
They won. It wasn't just, you know, it was won by a squeaker. It was like 14-3 or something. I mean, this team is something else. And they're going to Kalispell next weekend. Well, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. They're washing cars this weekend to try to get up enough money, make that trip. But it's great. It's just funner now. It's been a long time since Caldwell had two teams playing in the same time, you know, for a state championship. So it was fun, just great. In between, that's all I do. You know, right now is one of the busiest times of the year for me, and I'm just buried. You're not a true internet marketer unless you've lost track of what day it is. Once you've done that, you can claim to be an internet marketer. Yeah.
It looks like the World Cup in 2018 is going to be in Russia.
Oh.
And
okay.
Luzhniki. Oh, that's the stadium. It's in Moscow.
Okay.
At least that's what it says there. So, you know, I guess that's why Putin was there in Brazil. He was there with Merkel as well. You know, it was a world stage. You know, I'm glad to see no terrorist activity took place there. You know, and because it would have been the whole world been watching. That's for sure. So, glad nobody got stupid. But yeah, okay, great. Well, congratulations, Gary, on that, and I'm sure it'll keep you guys busy with the you know, kids and, you know, 12 years old. Good to see them, you know, achieving, you know, and applying themselves. Let's get them with Empower now. Get them all signed up.
Yeah. They introduced them last night at the AA Legion game. I walked them out and lined them up down third base line, and it was cool. You know, they were all just beaming, you know. Had their little Cal Ripken patches on, and, you know, it's crazy how quick they can clip through this thing. They win regionals, they're going to the big dance in Florida.
Well,
they got a good shot at it, too.
Nice. Great. Good. Okay, well, it's a little bit after the hour now. We can go ahead and get started. You know, again, the topic for tonight is a question we had Saturday. You know, at the our Saturday morning questions and answer period, we got a real good question that came in, you know, from a viewer that asked, you know, us individually as team leaders, you know, with all the different ways to make money on the internet right now, what is our most favorite one to do, you know, outside of Empower Network? You know, and we all do different things, from CPA to overages to eBay, you know, to mergers and acquisitions, to credit, to aircraft, you know, you name it. You know, we're across the board with our experience, and there's a special, you know, niche, you know, whether it's authoring books, whether it's you know, doing webinars, doing seminars, you know, and all the different things that we do, you know, to earn money and make a living and support our family and our business operations. And the question really from the viewer, which I thought was quite interesting, and we each one of us had a chance to answer it. There just wasn't a whole lot of time, you know, to do it on Saturday mornings. It's a shorter session than tonight, but the question was, what is our favorite way to make money? And so each one of us kind of answered it differently. So, which is good, you know, and it's how you interpret, you know, the question, you know, and again, the question was from the viewer of all the different ways to make money on the internet, including Empower Network, I think it was outside of Empower Network, what is your most favorite way, to earn money on the internet? And Gary, I'm going to let you go ahead and start, and then pass it to Mr. Irondale Richards and myself, and we can circle back to you as well. But why don't you elaborate a little bit into the viewers and with all of your good experience, and answer the question and tell the viewers your position there.
Folks, in any money-making venture or whatever you decide to do, in your life to earn money, it's kind of become kind of a thing with me too. What do you enjoy? And this, a lot of people have talked about this and everything. Make something that you love, your income, and then you love, your work. That's not so much, in my life experience. I love guns and hunting and fishing, and so I bought I built a gun store and sporting goods store. I called it Wild Man Sports. Imagine that, and had a dude in a canoe was my logo with the coonskin cap on, and then in the canoe there was soccer balls and baseball bats and fishing poles and shotguns, and there was just every sport in this canoe. So it was kind of fun. But it made me not enjoy the things that I enjoy, because I'd go on trips and stuff, and all I was doing was looking at the value in everybody's gear and stuff, and I'm like, geez. Look at the fortune that's being chucked into that creek. We've got the Salmon River up in Riggins in Idaho, and the salmon come up in, and when that run happens, there's literally people shoulder to shoulder along this busy road. It's Highway 95, and the creek's like, a few feet off of this thing where they come up, and I mean, there's people shoulder to shoulder with semis flying by, it's a crazy scene. And I saw a guy get spooled one time. He popped his line back out, and then it got stuck in a semi-tire, and it just spooled him right there alongside the road. Pow! And that thing popped like a firecracker going off, and it's just comical. I don't even fish the damn thing. I just set up my lawn chair in the cooler and watch the hilarity unfold. I mean, it's inevitable. You're going to see a fight every 2 or 3 minutes, It's great stuff. And, it made me not enjoy that type of stuff, because it was just, I was putting work into something that I truly love. So it kind of made me reevaluate the whole thing. What do you do for a living that you truly love? And I had an experience happen here just recently that I woke up my eBay store, because this is a time of season that I have a virtual store in the cloud. I mean, it doesn't even exist, but it's like huge, a huge business. And this is the time of year our inventory and stuff to get ready for Christmas. You have to get ready now, or you'll miss the boat tremendously. But and so all that's going on right now, and I woke that eBay store up, and I did $127.01, in just a very short period of time. And why that thrilled me, I have no idea. I don't know if it's 127 or it was the 1 penny, but it just tickled the crap out of me. And I think what it was, because I was in there massaging things and selling things that hadn't sold, but because I massaged them just a hair, they started popping again. And that just excites the crap out of me, that you can do that by punching a few keys on your keyboard, never even, put on a pair of shoes, and start making money, and now I've ramped this thing up, it's like clicking close to thousands a day, and we're not even in the heat of the season. It's just I've made some really good deals and purchases, and so that's clicking. And I've also had that experience with Empower, where you wake up in the morning and check your computer, and while you're sleeping, people were depositing money into your account for you, by buying your stuff, your products, and everything. And it's just the funnest thing you'll ever experience or do. And that kind of woke me up here, recently. What do I do? What do I enjoy the most about, making money? Which one do I enjoy the most? Well, it's got to be clicking on the computer after I've been sleeping and seeing all that stuff that's been put into my account. I mean, that is hands down the funnest and most enjoyable thing that I do. Let it be brick and mortar, online, offline, anything. I also have a laundromat. I make a ton of money, 25 cents at a time, as they're clicking those quarters in my washing machines and stuff, and my dryers. So I know what it's like to make it on a small scale and also on a large scale, and it doesn't really seem to matter. I had a student one time I call them students and trainees and stuff, on the online experience, and they were just ecstatic because they had made $10 online and didn't even grasp the fact that they had spent $1,000 to make that $10, but they were just elated for making that $10. I actually made money from that machine sitting on my desk, and that's kind of the core of this whole hangout and what we're trying to express to everybody, the thrill that you get out of that. Michael, if he was here, I mean, he turned his little computer to give him $100,000 payday one time, so. Oh. And so, man, I get these things trying to pop up on my computer again.
It's all right.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
That's just the gist of it. The most thrilling thing and enjoyable thing that I do is make this desktop perform and spit out money. You've all seen the pictures, the little deals where they send you the thing and it's a picture of a computer and you got $1 bills, $100 bills or whatever, spitting out of the computer screen. The experience that is actually the most enjoyable thing I think that you'll ever do, because it tickles the crap out of me. and once you get a certain whatever figured out, you just what do they say, guys? Rinse and repeat. Just rinse and repeat. How many times can I rinse and repeat this to make it spit out more? That thing that you were looking at and standing there watching me and my ugly chops on your computer sitting on your desk can spit out a lot of money for you folks. Just get the way figured out. And this is a dang good way right here with Empowered and Team Certainty, and we're looking for people that create results. And then you can be on this panel talking about your weird fishing trips.
So let me ask you this, just to get a little bit of clarity here, that would your answer to that question then be, eBay?
No, it's anything that you can make your computer and make money from home without leaving your chair. Okay. Is the most enjoyable thing to me. And the two things that I do, because they're the only things that I've found that have been successful, is Empower Network and Team Cert or eBay.
Yeah.
And we share all that stuff with you guys and everything, and we're trying to put together some seminars that we can do, at the same time, prior to the Empower Network events when you're all in town anyway. And some of the things that I've learned along the road, and I've bought everything under the sun, folks. If you're thinking about, oh yeah, look at this deal, I don't have to spend a dime and they're going to give me the whole system, trust me, they're flat lying to you. There is no way. There might be a couple of people out there that have figured out how to make money online for absolutely free, but it is very, very few.
No. Okay, it's a fair answer. It's a good, just like I said, on Saturday, and I knew the same thing's going to happen today as well. Is that each one is going to answer that question differently.
Yeah.
and you know, to me, I think that's excellent because it just gives a broader scale, you know, to the viewers and the listeners, you know, that not only each one of us different, each one of us, you know, applies ourselves much differently than the other, but we all work together, you know, within Empower Network, you know, to make a good living for ourselves and our families. You know, so you know, it's very interesting. I'm going to go ahead and jump in here, and then I'll pass on to you, Mr. Iron Dane Richards, about you know, you can answer your part of the question. But you know, again, the question that the viewer asked us Saturday, and that's what the topic of tonight is for the viewers just joining us now, is, you know, the question the viewer asked, you know, what you know, of all the ways to make money on the internet now, what is our, as leaders, what is our most favorite way to make money online outside of Empower Network? And you know, that's one of the things here. Again, you know, we utilize the Empower Network products in other businesses, our other businesses, to generate income. And each one of us has multiple sources of income. You know, not just one. But you know, as Gary answered, you know, his, you know, question, and I do subscribe to that theory too. By the way, when I used to talk to younger people, you know, high schools and stuff, I used to go around to high schools from time to time, and 10 years ago or so, and talk to people about, you know, their profession and you know, their desired profession, and you know, eventually they're going to get a profession when they get out of high school. Most kids that I spoke to had no clue, you know, what they wanted to do, or that they even had to do anything, you know. But you know, and my story to them was, you know, somewhat similar to what Gary, you know, just mentioned, and that was, you know, try and find something you really like to do. You know, whether it's, you know, playing football or fishing or hunting or cooking or driving a car or eating or whatever you like to do, reading books, you know, working with your hands, you know, being athletic, you know, be a lifeguard, you know, or whatever. But you know, figure out something you really like to do. You know, and you may not know what that is now. You may know, you may eventually come to understanding what that is, you know, when you're out into the workforce, graduating from college, or been in the workforce for, you know, 4 or 5 years. Typically around your 25, you know, between the 25, 30-year age, you better have a pretty good feel of kind of what you at least like to try, you know, at least. And my advice to the young people at that stage is do something, you know, and you know, that you like to do, because you're setting yourself up for failure if you don't. You know, eventually you will fail if you do something you don't particularly like to do. If it's just for the paycheck, if it's just to make the money, whatever, eventually it's going to stop, and you're eventually in your life's going to move and gyrate to something you really like to do, because then it doesn't become work. Then it becomes pleasurable, and that's really where you start to excel and make money, you know, in your employment, in your self-employment, like we're doing here now. And that's what Gary was saying, that his most important thing is anything he can do at home, and because that supports his lifestyle, you know, and you know, being around his kids, as you hear, you know, the baseballs and the fishing and everything else, that you know, that's the real value that we get by being employed, working, you know, with Empower Network, and being self-employed, working from our home, picking our own hours, gives us the privilege, you know, to do things like that. So, you know, beginning answering of this question is, you know, whatever you do, you know, do something you like, you know, and that's, you know, most important. Now, for me, answering the question is, what is my most favorite way to make money online? It's very easy. I mean, it's passive. You know, that's how I like to make money. I like to make money, you know, in a passive sense. You know, I don't like, you know, I mean, you know, I want to work as hard as I can, of course, but you know, I like the residual type of income. I like the recurring type of income. I like doing the work once, and then the income comes in. I like, you know, the passive side of income. You know, I'll tell you one of the things that I like to do, and for those of you that know me, that have listened for quite some time, know that I like horse racing. You know, horses. But you know, so the horse does the work. I don't get out there and shovel dirt, you know, and make money. I let the horse run around the track and make money for me. You know, and you know, it's not easy to do, but I've been very fortunate, and there's a little niche that I call a safe haven, you know, within the industry that I like, where it's pretty comfortable for me to make money. Not every time, but over the long haul, during the season, I can make good money. So answer to the viewer's question was, for me at least, is my most favorite way to make money online is passively. I like to make it to where I'm laying in bed at night, I wake up in the morning, and I check my accounts, and I made money. Now there's some setup with all of that, and sometimes the setup takes years. But most of the time the setup is 3-6 months, 1 year at the longest. And then you start making money. I can rattle off words like places that work very well for me. CPA, some good CPA offers. I've had long stand running, making good money. AdSense. People used to laugh and say you can't make money on AdSense. Well, I was making money on AdSense when they just started. And so I know what it was like to make really good money way back when. You can still do that, but it's not anywhere near as easy. And you have to spend $2 to bring in $3. But if you're spending a lot of $2, then you get a lot of $3s. So it's just those kind of formulas. A few other just proprietary type things that I've done, products that I've done, and a couple things that I sponsor. But for the most part, it's passive income. Now we all utilize the Empower Network products and as the sales as well. And the reason why I'm really high on Empower Network products, not only because they help in all the other businesses that I've done, but their products alone themselves, it's very easy to turn somebody on to Empower Network products when they're as good as they are, and you have your foot in the door already with this particular client, in another area, horse racing or whatever it might be. But the Empower Network products are designed specifically to teach you how to make money online in other products and in other areas. And that's what I really like about Empower Network products. And the two biggest criteria that go along with that is that it's unlimited inventory and it's 100% commissions, for the most part on the 5 core products. And I'll tell a story that many people have heard this story already many times, but I use this analogy of a Home Depot. Where if you're an Empower Network, if you belong to Empower Network and you have all the products, core products, all you have to do is buy them one time, and you have unlimited inventory for the products for the rest of your life. So you buy the 15K formula, I think it's $1,000. It's the same thing. And you can sell that thing as many times as you want to and make $1,000 a clip every time. So if you sell that product, which is delivered to you by Empower Network, you have no inventory. You just promote it and sell it, and then they pay you 100% commissions on it. You can sell that thing, that $1,000 product 10 times, a week, 10 times a day, and make $10,000 for doing so. Again, I use this analogy of this Home Depot that if you go down to Home Depot and you buy a riding lawnmower for $500. Okay, and you give the guy, the Home Depot clerk, $500, and he brings out this riding lawnmower. Says, "Okay, here's the keys. Take it, and enjoy it." You get on the riding lawnmower, fire it up, and drive off, and wave at him. And say, "Okay, bye. I'll be back tomorrow for another one." So you come back tomorrow, and the guy says, "Okay, since you bought one yesterday, you get today's free. I'll give you another one today." He brings out one and gives you the keys and say, "Okay. Buy, and then you have a buyer standing right there that hands you $500, and so you take the $500, put it in your pocket, give him the keys to the riding lawnmower, turn around and look at the clerk and say, "I'll be back tomorrow and I need 5." All right, so you line up 5 buyers and you go back to Home Depot and he brings out 5 riding lawnmowers, gives you 5 keys and say, "Okay, they're yours." You turn around to your 5 buyers and collect $500 each, and you get $2,500 and say, "Here's your riding lawnmowers, go off." That's the key to Empower Networks. 100% commissions, keeping the proceeds, 100% of the sale proceeds, and unlimited inventory. You have unlimited inventory to sell and keep 100% of the profits. So those are the 2 big benefits. And and really honestly, when you look at starting a franchise or a home-based business or something else like that, yeah, you're going to spend some money. And the deal where you spend the money with Empower Network is in education. You buy the products one time, and you get unlimited inventory to resell again, and the education that goes along with those products. So you're upgrading your skill set in education on how to market other products, but you have now unlimited inventory. It's like having a restaurant with pizza, and you go to a pizza parlor and you say, I just want to buy one pizza. I want a pepperoni pizza. So you order a pepperoni pizza, then you can go back there anytime you want, and you get a free pepperoni pizza. I'll eat it all the time you want. You can sell it, resell it, and keep the profits. It's an amazing philosophy, and it works. I've studied that business model when I was doing my due diligence on Empower Network, many months ago. I looked at that business model, and they've had a few tweaks, but for the most part, it stayed intact, and it works, and it works for everyone, and it's amazing on how it works, how well it works, and it can even be tweaked more, and I expect it to be tweaked a little bit more. But it works for everyone. So anyway, and I'm going to pass this on to Mr. Iron Dan Richards here in just a second. But in answer to the question to the viewers, passively is how I like to make my income. On the internet. That's my most favorite way of making money on the internet. And then also the doing it through something that I really love to do. And as I have advised to children, including mine, that the best job you'll ever have in life is one you create. And that's part of what the buttons are for below. And, creating your own job. And with Empower Network and Team Certainty, that's what you'd be doing by using the buttons below to join. And, again, all you can spend is $25 tonight, and your sponsor will get with you for the rest, depending on the level. I recommend minimum level 3 below. That's button 3, level 3 below. That'll put you in the best position for the least amount of money to make the most money possible with Empower Network. And again, there's an earnings disclaimer below. You need to read that as well. So that's kind of the answer to my question. I don't know if you guys have any comments on that, or Mr. Iron Dan Richards, you want to go ahead and take it from here. We're going to circle around back to each one of us. Obviously with closing comments and other things that we can add to it. But the thing I see that people get involved in starting their own business and stuff is they get involved in a business that they think they have a passion for, but they really don't. Like I get it a lot about restaurants. People are like, well, man, I got a great recipe for cookies, so I'm going to do a restaurant. Look, man, I can tell you this, and I've owned restaurants before, and they're not easy. It's probably the most hardest business you could ever do. But I will say this about it. Oh. If you can run a restaurant, start and operate and run a restaurant and be successful at it, even for just a couple of years, the most likely you can run any business, because they're that hard to do, that hard. The last thing I'll say on this, too, is that, whatever area you get involved that you like to do, in your own home-based business, my advice to people is, make sure it'll support your lifestyle. And a quick little story on that is I had an associate or a friend, actually a brother, that had a big janitorial service, huge janitorial service. He cleaned millions of square feet of space, on a daily basis, here in this city I live in, which is a big city. It's the 4th largest city in the United States. But he was always low on money because he liked living the high lifestyle, Corvettes and planes and all this other stuff, and just didn't support his lifestyle. The margin of profit in that business is only like 3 or 4%. And so you might get big contracts, and the cash flow might be good, but the profits just aren't there. So he was always fighting with his accounting people and everything else, and eventually he sold the business, got out of it. But it didn't support his lifestyle, and there was issues there. So, but he's a smart businessman. He realized it, and worked through it, eventually. But I use that as an example because I got to see that firsthand. Anyway, so again, you guys comments, anybody? And Iron Dan Richards, it's all yours, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say about, making money online, folks. I used to be in the banking systems and then consulting to high-value clients and travel a lot. And the one thing about happens, at times you don't realize it is you may be chasing around and doing something, and you know, a lot of times I was like, man, I'm just burned out. You know, as soon as I get back home, I've been gone for 3 weeks at a time, maybe 5 to 7 hours time frame difference. You get home, you crash out, but everybody still wants you to perform. And the one thing I like about the internet is it works 24/7, 365. It doesn't ask for, you know, a day off. It doesn't call in sick. It doesn't do anything but perform, because we're in such a society right now, unlike in the year 2000, that, you know, the servers are so much better, the quality of internet service is so much better. You know, if you're not on the internet with a business, you're not really in business. And no matter what business you have today, you really have to have a presence on the internet. I work a lot with business development with small businesses, and you know, when it comes down to the credit reporting agencies like Dun & Bradstreet or Experian Business, if they can't find you on the internet, you're not in business in their eyes nowadays. So, you know, once you start moving through, you know, the evolution of what's going on, you got to make choices on what you're going to do and what's going to be the most productive for you. And so my favorites then is to try to build a stable base of marketing for my businesses that I do. And, you know, whether it's consulting or books or seminars, you know, it's the web presence that gets it all started today. And so one of my favorites is, of course, using Empower Network, using the blog system there to get it started, you know. And what happens is that you get these top backlinks out of Empower Network to your own website that have such a top Alexa ranking. If you're familiar with Alexa, it's got a lot of link juice, is the best way we can say it. And also, you know, with the major search engines, they have a deep respect for Empower Network due to the fact of the volume of marketing that all the marketers did that really built it in the beginning. And, you know, there was such a splash with Empower Network on it, you know, it did boost up all the rankings of everyone that was, especially those involved in Empower Network. If you look at a lot of the SEO gurus and like this online, a lot of them are members of Empower Network because they know the value of, you know, joining down below, just that first little button right there, just go ahead and sign up. You can only spend $25, but you know what? You cannot get a better SEO tool for the dollar, the bang for the buck. You just really can't buy anything better, in my opinion. Okay, and I can tell you, folks, is that I've spent thousands on search engine optimization and, you know, buying links and clicks and like that. But it all boils down to nowadays is that I like something that's automated. All my book sales go through Amazon, so those are automated. But what drives a lot of the traffic is my connection through the websites to Empower Network because of the link juice, is the best way I can call it. And, you know, and like Gary was saying, there's nothing finer, folks, than going into my Amazon account and looking at how many books sold, you know, yesterday. You know, there's nothing finer to see that creeping up. But the one thing I'll tell you is, too, we get signups from people visiting our other websites, because I do on all my sites have, you know, make money from home, learn how a way to do it, tested, proven, and cost effective. If you look at my sites, you're going to go back to Empower Network or Team Certainty landing page. You're going to hit one of the two. And, you know, this is how, I mean, I don't call people up to recruit. They come in from the other websites of mine. But you know what? Without the Empower Network, you know, it's a secondary income stream for all three of us. You know, I mean, you just can't do anything wrong with it in a way. I mean, you just follow their instructions. They get great training videos that really give you the influence on how to get going, how to do it right. But you know, this is really my favorite thing is making money on the internet, and it gives me the flexibility to plan out what I really want to do, and if I want to take a couple days off just to kind of get lost, right, I've got time to do it. Spend it with the dog even. So, it's it's you got to invest in your time, and you got to invest in yourself. And nowadays, you got to invest in your marketing on the internet. So I'm just going to tell all of you, take the pain out of some of it. Sign up with Empower Network. Just give it a test. And it's a cheap test. $25 a month. It's not going to break anybody to get started. But get your recruiting base going. Start bringing people in. Have that link on your other sites. And you go to the back office, I show you how to use Blogger.com from Google to do a lot of things to get some rankings. So anyway, I think that's probably the best thing I can say there, Mike, is is that that's one of the things I do like about making money on the internet, is that it gives us a lot of freedom, but in the same token, it's like Gary said, checking your account all the time. So.
No. That's good. That's good. You have any comments there, Mr. Gary Schmidt?
Yeah, I like all that stuff, and the Empower Network was kind of made by accident. Dave and the Daves just kind of built that to have a system that everybody could use, so their team would get better results. And that it was never, built as the empire that it turned out to be. And the way that they do their training and stuff is so many different ideas. Is basically you're just, looking for what fits you. And a lot of that stuff is a little confusing to people, and they've kind of revamped that in the back office now with the inner circle training stuff, and redone a bunch of videos and everything to help people get ramped up and going quicker and a little easier. A lot of people just show me step 1, step 2, step 3. They don't want to think outside the box or what fits them the best. But boy, the biggest secret that I can say on anything is the engineering your results is the main thing that I've learned with all this. And when I did my eBay stuff, it intrigued me of how they sold these digital products and just made money, like Dave Wood refers to it as making money out of thin air. By selling digital products, you're just selling something out of thin air. And that just intrigued me, and I just had to know how that worked. And I haven't spent the time on it that I should have, but you can engineer your results. Just back to the fishing trip thing, and how I said it was so confusing and congested. I always limit out when I go up there, always. And a lot of times my pole doesn't even hit the water. You see, all these salmon runs and everything go through Indian land, and the Indians have rights to net them babies. And so come Sunday, when it's time to go home, I go downtown and load up my great big cooler with ice. And then I go up there and slip one of them Indians $120, and he puts a dozen, beautiful salmon in there fresh out the creek, and I go home, and I'm engineering my results. If I want to fish, I'll get a drift boat. I got this buddy up there that runs a drift boat and likes to drink beer, and he will not let us talk business. We're up there to fish, and we catch and have a good time with him. And if we start talking business, he starts singing, and he's a horrible singer. And that makes us quit talking about business, It's engineer your results, What do you want to do that is the simplest way and most comfortable way for you? Well, the most comfortable way for me is underneath an umbrella, drinking my drinks and stuff and watching the comedy take place, and I still take home a cooler full of fish. I engineer my results, and I do the same thing with Empower Network and all my other businesses, to create the lifestyle that you are comfortable with. The guys.
You locked up.
He froze up.
Yeah, I'll jump in here and tell you a real quick story. It's kind of funny. His story about the fish and stuff. when I was single, we used to go down to Mexico and go hunting all the time. You know, well, I say all the time, 2 or 3 times a year. But it got to a point where, you know, we said, you know, we'd hunt for a little bit, then we'd go, you know, dancing or, you know, just drinking beer or golfing or something, you know. But we wouldn't come back with any, you know, we couldn't come back with anything. So I'd actually have to go out and buy like 3 frozen turkeys at a just a regular store. I'd tie them on the rope around them and then drag them on the back of my truck down a dirt road for about 15 miles so that they're all beat up and everything. So it looks like somebody shot them and cleaned them. And, you know, then wrap them up in newspaper and bring them home. And, yeah, and then put them in the freezer. You know, and that's what, you know, when it came time to cook them and stuff, I'd actually bring them to the place to then bring them home from there and say, oh yeah, they cleaned them good, they got them all nice and shiny and all this other stuff. So, but you know, that's what we used to do to you know, cover our tracks, so to speak. Well before I was, you know, married. But anyway, it was kind of fun. I'm not sure what happened to him. It's you know, I know he's got, you know, he redid his computer just recently and got onto that. So he may pop in and see us here in just a few minutes. But
yeah,
you know, do you have any comments? You know, closing comments? And we're here almost at the top of the hour. But you know, do you have any closing comments for tonight? I mean, tonight's topic is a really good one. You know, I believe we did touch on it, each one of us, for prospective new members, to kind of get an idea of, you know, how we go about our business on a day-to-day basis in making money, you know, online, you know, and what's the rationale for each one of us. You know, each one of us is different, you know, and you being an author and stuff, me with M&A and corporate structure building, and then Gary with you know, his online eBay and some of the other things he does specifically online, you know, but the common denominator is we do it all on our own time, and we do it all at home. None of us, not one of us 3 has an office to go to other than here at the house. You know, and that's the way we like it. We wouldn't change it, even if, you know. I mean, I've got a couple deals right now that require to have a presence, an office presence in a financial district or oil or gas district, or what, or maybe even at an airfield. But you know, you're not going to catch me there. You know, I've done my time, and you know,
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I've been around the block before there, baby, and I had no desire for any of that anymore. You know, because once you hang your shingle somewhere, you know, it becomes your, you know, permanent home again, and I don't want to have any of that. But I will say this, and that is, working from home is a blessing. It's great. I love it. You know, but I got to tell you, I like it during the school year a lot more than I like it during the summer. You know, during the summer months, you know, there's too many people running around, you know, wanting me to do stuff, you know, and you know, when school's in session, everyone's gone except for me. So that's the way I like it. So anyway,
you don't get volunteered during that time. Yeah.
I just got a text from Gary. Apparently, he had a power outage up there, and storming power outage, and he's just, you know, says he'll be back on Saturday morning with us. But thanks for everybody, and he says bye. So, you know, he's fine. He's safe, which is good. So, yeah.
I was gonna say. But I think, you know, when it really comes down to all this, folks, about what we do, all 3 of us, about making money online. It's kind of like what Thomas Edison said. It was something to the fact that that our greatest weakness lies in giving up, and the most certain way to succeed is always to try that one more time, because, you know, he used to say is, you know, I found 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb before I made the light bulb. You know, and you know. The one thing that we've done is we've tried to take the bumps out of the road for you folks that come and watch and visit, get to know us, and you know, and join us on Team Certainty. But you know, what you really have to do is you got to give it a shot. You know, and nobody's going to do it for you. Basically, I think that's the one thing that, you know, a lot of people want to get recruited into something where we say it's automated, but you still got to do a little something. You got to work smart, and that's the thing. Folks, don't work harder, work smarter. And if we were working harder, we'd be chained to a desk 80 hours a week in that godforsaken office that runs you almost $10,000 a month. And yeah, trust me. We all know that overhead and that chained to that desk, and people expect you to be there all the time. Now, if they need to get a hold of me, hey, Skype me, you know, no problem. Yeah, but I do have set hours, you know. I'm a big believer in don't call me at certain times of night or day, because, you know, I've got a certain part dedicated to personal life, a certain part dedicated to business. But I think, you know, you can all do it too. I mean, it's not building rocket fuel, folks, and that's the one thing I can tell you. It's just being consistent and, you know, working a system that works.
Right.
So, I guess
it's good closing comments. I appreciate that, and you know, and I concur with it all, and I'm sure Gary, if he's here too, would as well. And again, he just had a power outage up there in Idaho, and he's fine, he's safe, but he'll be back with both Iron Dane, Richard, and I on Saturday with our questions and answers. I'll be traveling actually, but wherever I'm at, you know, I'll hook up and get on board. But you know, hope the viewers, you know, whether you watch this live or on replay, you know, and you know, got some good comments and good knowledge tonight about, you know, how we, you know, as team leaders make money, you know, and the rationale for how we approach the different aspects, and primarily utilizing the Empower Network products, you know, to enhance our abilities to make money in other areas, you know, and to help others, and you could be doing that too, and it begins with the buttons down below. So thank you, Mr. Iron Dane Richards, for this evening, sir. We've got much more to chat about here in a minute, but we'll do that off camera. But thank you, Mr. Gary Smith, as well. Sorry, you know, you're not with us right now, but you're probably listening, or if you can, actually, I'm sure you're not listening, but you probably catch this the other two. Say again?
I said he'll be watching this rerun on YouTube.
He'll catch it and make sure that we got the good advice for him. And thank you, viewers, for listening in to us and we're actually watching us tonight. You know, whether you're watching this on live or replay from one of the YouTube channels or, you know, one of the broadcast pages we broadcast on. Thank you for taking the time again, whether it's you watch this live or you're watching it on replay or possibly even listening on one of the radio stations that we broadcast on the internet. You know, thank you for your time. And again, we do these Google Hangouts for prospective new members Saturday mornings from 11 to 11:30 a.m., which is a questions and answer period, and also this time period, Wednesday evenings from 8 to 9 p.m. Central. So we'll be back Saturday morning with a good questions and answer session this coming Saturday from 11 to 11:30, and hopefully we'll see you there too. And again, thank you, Mr. Iron Dane Richards and Mr. Gary Smith, and thank you, viewers, as well. And we'll see you Saturday morning. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.